Well, I will go ahead and say hello, everyone. Welcome to the Stream Void Podcast. Podcast, episode 140.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's a lot of episodes.
Yeah, I know.
Cool.
It's a cool amount of episodes, 140. I am Mikey D, and of course, across from me is Curb Stomped. You can find us everywhere under our selected monikers. Literally everywhere. Just Google us.
Sure.
We're the first result that comes up, guaranteed. If you're in
well,
Canada,
I mean,
maybe. I don't know.
If you Google Curb Stomp, it'll say, "Do you mean Curb Stomp?" And then it'll have a clip of American History X. But
yeah,
whatever.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep.
This is the Stream Void Podcast. You are listening to it, and this is a podcast about life and video games and everything in between.
Yes.
And so let's talk about some of that in between stuff.
Okay, sure.
How was your week?
I've been sick still.
Yes,
I'm still sick.
the plague,
Yeah, basically.
the
I can't shake it.
white plague.
I'm not coughing quite as bad today as I have been.
No,
But
you've
still
coughed
bad.
0 times so far. Maybe.
No, I
don't
coughed
I
when
was
you were
upstairs.
gone, and I'm trying to resist the urge because it doesn't really do anything. I want to do it, but
Nothing happens.
nothing really happens. Sometimes something will happen, and they'll be like, "Oh, that was a good one," but
Yeah.
usually nothing happens.
Just
so.
scratches the itch in your lower left lung. you
Very rarely does it happen.
know?
So, yeah, that's been going on. So, I don't know. I've been trying to work with it, but I don't know. Like on Wednesday, the cough was very bad, and I was in the office, and the ladies were like, "Yeah, it's time for you to go home today."
See ya.
So I was like, "Okay, I'll leave." So I did.
Hey, you just work from home then.
Nah, I went to bed.
Ah.
Yeah, it's basically been like, what am I gonna do when I get home? Stream? Nah, I'll go to bed. It's
Yep.
like, should I watch Ahsoka for the Stream Void podcast? I'll go to bed. I mean, I did watch it. But, yeah, it sucks. I got a doctor's appointment finally for
That's
next
good.
week.
Yeah, that's good.
Next week. I called on Monday at work, and the woman's like, answers the phone. Like, I need an appointment. I've been sick for a month, whatever. Oh, okay. What's your name? What's your birthday? Oh, okay. Let me call you back. Set up an appointment. Oh, okay. Whatever. That's fine. So that was at like 1:30 or something like that. So then I looked because I had to Google the phone number, and I look and it's like, oh, they close at 2. Okay. So I'll hear back tomorrow about this appointment.
Yeah.
Right. All day Tuesday. No call. So, okay. Sweet. No call. So then Wednesday morning I call. So yeah, I called on Monday about an appointment. I was supposed to get a call back. I was very busy yesterday. Okay, well, I was very sick yesterday, so thank you for the call back. So then she's like, I'm like, first appointment. She's like, yeah, it's on the 7th. And I was like, oh my fucking God. So I was like, okay, I'll take it. Whatever. So, but when I was at work on Wednesday, the women are like, oh, you should go to emergency. And I was like, I don't think it's an emergency. I'll wait until I can go to the doctor. I don't want to clutter up emergency with my cough. It's not like I'm coughing up blood or something like that.
Yeah. If it's life or death, then I'll go to emergency.
Yeah,
But if it's like if it's like a minor scrape, I'm like, no.
I wouldn't call this minor, but it's still like, I think there'd be more important things than me at emergency.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, it's been a rough time. Just, yeah, a lot of sleeping, laying down, doing nothing, eating a sandwich for dinner, going to bed, you know.
A PB&J?
Yeah, man. I've turned on to raspberry jam. I would always buy strawberry jam, and then I accidentally, I don't know, grabbed raspberry because I'm an idiot. I do that sometimes. Well, I'll be like, oh yeah, that's what I want.
That's what I want.
And
It's
then
red and it's a berry.
I'll get home and be
of.
like, fuck. I do that all the time with monsters. I'll be like, I'll take a white and a red monster, and I'll get home and it's like, oh, this is watermelon. Fuck. So I did that where I grabbed it and I was like, oh, it's raspberry. Oh, well, whatever. I'll eat it. And then I was like, oh, I think I like raspberry more than strawberry jam.
Yeah, there you go.
So it's been raspberry and peanut butter
Nice.
on the old 9-grain wheat bread. I can't use white bread anymore.
No.
It's been a long time since I could do white bread.
I had a Schmucker's Uncrustable.
Oh, they
other
have
day.
them finally?
Yeah.
I knew they were coming here, but I haven't seen them
It's
for sale.
pretty good.
I want to try an Uncrustable.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
I haven't seen them anywhere.
they come in boxes of 4.
Yeah.
They're frozen. You know, you take one out.
Oh, they're
you let
frozen?
It thaw. Yeah, they're frozen.
That's why I've never seen
Yeah.
them. I never thought they were frozen.
Yeah, they're frozen. So you take it out, you let it thaw. And somehow it's still not mush in the package.
Wow, that's crazy.
It doesn't get all mushy when you thaw it, and then you just eat it.
But it's like a little pie.
No,
it's on white bread, isn't it?
Yeah, it's white bread.
Yeah, it's
just,
like eating a little pie.
Yeah.
So wait, it's peanut butter and jam?
Yeah.
And you ate it?
Yeah. I
With
like
jam?
peanut butter and jam.
With jam?
Yeah.
What is wrong
It's
with
just
you?
a slight smear. Like just a slight amount.
But you don't eat jellies or jams.
No, I do. Just not in large quantities, like in a pie.
Oh my god. You're so weird.
But here's the thing.
Uh-huh.
I'll have a large what the hell? Pecan butterscotch. What the hell are those called? Butter tarts.
Yeah, but that's not the same though.
It's not the same, but
That's
it's
that's
kind
like
of the
eating
same.
a meat pie.
Yeah,
That's like solid.
yeah.
It's not
That's
gelatinous.
why I like it. Although some of them can be gelatinous.
Ugh, if you're eating one of those and it's gelatinous, something's gone wrong. Anyways, I don't know what I was saying. So, what did you do? I've not been very well thinking recently. I was working and I was picking stuff at the warehouse and I just was circling it. Like, oh yeah, I grabbed these pizzas or whatever. And then I was looking at the paperwork later and I was like, wait, I was supposed to get 48 of them. That's 4 boxes. I only got 1 box. So I had to go redo my work. So
Crazy.
I've not been thinking too good.
Yeah.
My thinking is not too well.
I have no idea what I did at work. I went to
doesn't
Douglas
matter.
Lake. I went to Vernon. I did some things. I don't know. It was a
Didn't get
slow
yelled
week
at,
until
though?
Friday. No, there's no one to yell at me anymore.
Perfect. That's the way it should be.
Yeah, it's good. Had the electricians in to do the rest of the stuff they needed to do before they changed over the panel.
Nice.
And the panel is getting changed over on the 7th. Hydro's coming in to hook the wires up to the house, and then the electricians will take it from there.
Nice.
I had an appointment with a guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's like super busy. He's hustling very hard. I'm like, my appointment was at 7:00 at night to give me a quote on Windows.
Oh, Windows.
Yeah. So I missed him that night. I don't know. I thought it was Tuesday, but it was actually Wednesday, the night I was supposed to meet him. But I was just down in the basement, just headphones on, just business planning it out. And I completely missed him.
Yeah.
Because, I had my headphones on, just blasting music, couldn't hear a thing.
Yeah.
And then we tried to hook up on Friday, but he was just too busy. So Saturday. Saturday was the day. He showed up at 8:30.
That's so busy that he can't even do a quote till 8 at night. Maybe you need another dude.
I don't know. He's the guy my cousin recommended. My cousin
Okay.
did the windows.
Okay.
So I'm gonna hopefully change out all the windows down here too, but we'll see what his quote comes into.
Nice.
Because I've got 4 windows upstairs and 3 windows downstairs to change.
It's not that bad.
No. Should be under 10 grand.
You
Should be
ever
close to
consider
8.
doing it yourself?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. I've got too much stuff on the go now.
All right.
I managed to sleep in yesterday.
Wow.
I know. I
That's-
slept until like 8.
That's unusual.
It is unusual. And then today I slept in until 10. I was
That's
like,
very unusual.
Oh, it's beautiful.
What time did you go to bed, though?
2.
Yeah. That's not that bad.
I stayed up very late last night, probably till midnight. No, 11 o'clock working on the business plan.
Yeah.
Almost done.
Mm-hmm.
Almost done.
Yeah.
And then we decided to watch Matrix 4.
Oh, God. And why did you decide to do that?
Well, I've wanted to watch it because, it's the Matrix and I love the Matrix. Love the world building and all that. But, man,
It's good, right?
it's okay. Okay. It's different.
Yeah.
It's not it's not an action movie. It's more like a love story.
Yeah.
It's more like a sci-fi romance.
I'm pretty sure what happened is that when what are those guys? The Wachowski brothers
yeah.
did the first Matrix movies with Warner Brothers. They have some sort of deal with them where they can make sequels, Warner Brothers, their own, if the Wachowskis say they don't want to do it.
Yeah.
So I'm sure Warner Brothers is like, hey, we're going to do Matrix. And they were like, no, we'll do it. We're going to do it. We have first say on it. And that's what they made because
Yeah.
they didn't want to do it.
Yeah, it was okay.
Yeah.
Do you know anything about it? Like what it is?
Well, like Keanu's a video game designer and he made a game called The Matrix.
Yeah, so after Matrix 3, when Neo and Trinity crash their ship into the mainframe.
Yeah.
They reset the Matrix. They get plugged back in.
Yeah.
And everything goes back. Like they don't.
And the whole three movies were pointless.
They don't destroy Zion.
Yeah.
And all that kind of stuff. They actually, there is peace.
Yeah.
They actually broker peace. They reset the Matrix. So everything gets reset.
Yeah.
But the Matrix is upgraded to Matrix 2.0. So instead of being early 2000s or early 90s, what is it? I can't remember what the first Matrix was.
It was like early 90s or whatever.
Early 90s, it's 2020.
Mm-hmm.
It's 2020. So everyone's got their cell phones, they got their video games, and people who want to have their minds freed can still free their minds, but because of the world they live in now, people don't want to do that. They're like, nah.
It's too good.
I don't want to be out there. This is just too good.
Yeah. What did the machines get out of it?
They still get their power.
Okay. So why did... Anyways,
but the weird thing is that when
what
Neo...
was the whole point of the first three movies then?
To free people's mind. And now, you can get freed. But with the Matrix 2.0, they don't want to be freed.
That's so stupid.
And so there's this weird... I don't understand what it is, but they have... Instead of in the birthing pods, like all those power pods, Neo and Trinity are in a separate power pod section where they're together but not together. They're near each other because they create the most power when they're near each other.
Oh, I see. They're two elements that react strongly.
Yeah. But so they look different in the Matrix, like when they're within the Matrix. Like Neo's a balding old dude. And Trinity's like some blonde lady, but you don't really know that because they're playing their, they're just their characters. But when they look in a mirror, you can see that sometimes. And Agent Smith is in there for some reason.
Just for fun?
Yeah, well, he's actually Neo's boss, but he's been redone too, and he looks different. But the guy they played him tries to be.
Oh, it's a different guy?
It's a different guy.
Just like Morpheus is a different guy?
Yeah, it's Hugo Weaving, right?
Hugo Weaving
tries to do a Hugo Weaving, but it is awful.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he can't do it.
Mr. Anderson.
He doesn't even do that. He goes, God, what's his name? Tom Sanderson.
Tom.
He just goes, Tom. Me and Tom. I'm like, what are you doing? It's Mr. Anderson if you're being Smith.
Yeah.
It was that part really annoyed me. There are a lot of cool throwbacks. Like, they do a lot of similar shots.
Mm-hmm.
Like, in the first one where they have the helicopter, like, shooting the minigun and it's all from below and the shells are tuned down. They do a shot like that. They do a lot of cool shots. They do a lot of hearkening back to the old movies. But they didn't do some of the stuff that I was hoping they would do. Like, all the fighting is shaky camera fighting.
Fun.
All the combat is just garbage. I was like, what is going on?
Yeah,
this looks awful.
Yeah.
And there's no bullet time
That's
camera movement because I guess they didn't want to set up that kind of camera rig. It doesn't look the same.
They
it doesn't
wouldn't
have
even
the
set
same
up
vibe.
a camera rig anymore. They
No,
just
no,
scan
all
them one
CG,
time
yeah.
and then they just do it.
All CG. They did all CG and it doesn't look as good
I don't
for
think
some
they
of the stuff.
Had a big budget when they
Yeah.
saw the script for this movie. I'm sure Warner Brothers was like, we're not going to give you that much money.
Yeah, as a kind of a love story, it was pretty okay. As a Matrix movie, it was meh.
It just sucks that they sort of like, I don't know, whatever. I didn't see the last Matrix movie, so.
I liked all the first three Matrix movies. I thought they were great. A lot of people hated on the third one. A lot of people didn't like the second one.
I thought just what I always think about Keanu Reeves movies, that he's not a good actor.
I mean, he
And
just
it's
plays
like-
himself in every single movie he's ever in.
Yeah, I guess so.
So you gotta like Keanu being Keanu to enjoy a Keanu movie.
Yeah, that's like fucking what's his name? Deadpool.
Ryan Reynolds? Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Ryan Reynolds is Ryan Reynolds is Ryan Reynolds. If you don't like Ryan Reynolds, you're not gonna watch anything that he's in.
Yeah, he's just whatever.
I mean, that's just how he is in real life too, because you watch him in Welcome to Wrexham, and that's just him.
Yeah.
He's
He's
just
a very
Ryan
bad
Reynolds.
actor. Can just play himself.
He's just extremely likable.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, whatever.
Yeah, it took oh god, the hell's his Twitch name? Can't remember.
Okay.
Buddy's birthday yesterday. I
Mhm.
was like, it was like 6 o'clock. I was like, I need to leave the house. I've been here just napping on the couch after doing a whole bunch of housework.
Mhm.
So I was like, hey, let's go off-roading.
Oh, yeah.
Went up to Batch, did a quick little off-road trip. It's pretty fun.
Nice.
It's nice and good sunset because the smoke was just coming in and we were on the top of the mountain. So
Oh, yeah.
if you check Spurborn Studios Discord in the pictures, you'll be able to see the sunset picture I took.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was nice up there. It's
Nice.
very nice. But now it's all like socked in with smoke again. Like, what the hell?
That's not good.
I'm done with it.
I know, this smoke is brutal.
I'm done with it.
Yep. I'm done with it too.
Yeah. And funny thing,
Mm-hmm.
the wife's going to work.
Mm-hmm.
They have a new employee,
Uh-huh.
and the employee was like, "Oh yeah, my friend Dallas is coming to town to deal with his mother's estate."
Oh, yeah.
I was like, "Oh yeah." Danae was telling me this. I'm like, "Oh yeah, is it the same Dallas or is it some weird coincidence?"
Yeah.
Dallas, of course, being the the previous
Yeah.
owner of the house.
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh well, he didn't tell me anything."
Wow.
And it's Sunday at noon, and I still don't know anything.
Wow.
I haven't heard a word, so he
Crazy.
hasn't come to town in like 4 years
Yeah, no.
since we bought the house.
Yeah.
Like after we moved into the house, like I think he was only for here like a year, but like before COVID, after COVID,
Yeah.
haven't seen him.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but he's
He's just embarrassed.
I guess.
He's just embarrassed.
I have no idea.
That'd be what I would guess.
I have no
Just
idea.
Embarrassed about the whole situation.
We had we pulled a bunch of stuff out of storage for the electricians to get in there,
Yeah.
so I just started pulling all this stuff out too.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm like, no, we can put this somewhere else.
Into the dump.
Nah,
Just gonna store it in your new home forever.
no, not forever.
That's crazy. Yeah, that's what I would think. He just doesn't want to show his face. with
Maybe.
the whole situation.
I
Kind
don't
of.
know.
I mean, it sort of worked out in the end for you, but
Yeah, definitely did.
for a while there, it was just like, wow, you really screwed me over here.
Yeah, it worked out for the best anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that was it for my week. Just a lot of business plan, like
Mhm.
business plan every day till like bedtime.
So when you always talk about the business plan about this, can I ask, like, does your business partner do any of that too? Okay.
Yep.
Just you never say like we are working on it. It's always like I'm working on it.
Oh yeah, he was working on it
Okay.
this morning.
All right. Yeah. I've just never heard you say that, so just wondering.
Well, yeah, we are working on it, but
Okay.
you only want to hear about me working on it, so.
I know, but you've never once said like he did anything about it, so I just was like,
Oh yeah, no, we're working on
Okay.
it.
Okay.
We're working on it, but
Sounds good.
he usually goes to bed early and gets up early,
Ah, yeah.
whereas I like to work on it until I have to go to bed.
Fair enough. So you didn't play anything then?
Other than Game Club,
Yeah.
I played one round of Dave the Diver, one
Oh, yeah.
afternoon in the game of Dave the Diver.
Right.
And that's about it. It's just too busy. Especially yesterday, I was like, "Oh, I can actually do housework. Let's go."
Yeah, exactly.
Did a lot of housework, and then
That's
I
good.
napped on the couch. Tried to, didn't work out.
Well, I haven't been doing too much of anything because of sickness.
Yeah.
But I was playing some Earthlock, which I talked about before on here when we did the episode where we didn't have a game club and we just talked about a game we played.
Yeah.
You played Chris Tales, I think.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I did Earthlock. So I was like, let me finish this up here, wrap it up. It's kind of like a simple RPG, right?
Yeah,
Whatever. But the way that this game is, they did two versions of it. They did the Earthlock Festival of Magic was the first one. And then they released it, and then they kept working on it, and rather than like updating the first one,
Mhm.
they just they made another version and gave it away to anyone that had the first one and delisted the other version.
Oh, weird.
Because it was like, I don't know if they ran out of time or they just changed and added to it, but they added all this and they changed the story. It's very weird. Like in the first version, all the characters are kind of like standoffish to each other, and you'll like encounter a person and be like, hey, do you know where my uncle is? And they'll be like, I don't know where your uncle is. Like, forget you. I'm out of here. And they're like, well, we're going the same way. Like, why don't we work together? And they'll be like, okay, fine, but don't get in my way. or you'll get to a point in the desert where like one character passes out and then you wake up and then they'll be like, where did this character go? And she said, they'll be like, oh, she just left and said like, you guys can handle this. I'm out of here or whatever. Where in the second version, they're all like nicery to each other and be like, let's work together and go save the crystals or whatever. Or the guy, like, rather than saying like, you wake up and she's gone, she's just like, oh, I've been summoned back to do this other thing. Unfortunately, I have to leave you, but we'll meet up again later. See ya. And then they'll leave or whatever, right?
Weird.
But other than that, like, the game is pretty much the same, like, sort of system-wise and battle style and everything.
Yeah.
But I was sort of, like, playing a bunch of the original one, and then I'd switch it to the other one and see what the differences were, just to see what they added and changed, and it's pretty interesting to see.
Huh.
I don't know why they decided to do that.
Maybe they got a lot of complaints that everyone was so dickish.
Well, when I was playing it, I was like, wow, these characters are kind of assholeish to each other. But they added in other little mini cutscenes too, so it adds a bit more to the story. Like, in the original version, all of a sudden, like, one of the people show up and you're like, oh, that's a bad guy now? Whereas in the new version, you'll like overhear like little snippets of conversation if you go into a certain area, and it'll be like, oh, that person's acting a little weird. And then it gives you an idea of like, oh, they're going to do, you know, they have their own thing going on or whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've been doing that. The achievements in it are glitchy though. It'll be like, if you rescue this character, you get an achievement. But I'll be like, I rescued them and they're in my party and I didn't get the achievements. What's going on? And then I'll be playing, and then like 3 hours later, it'll be like, oh, you got the achievement. You rescued them. We figured it out.
Maybe you had to complete some quest line?
No, it's legitimately like that's what it just doesn't pop when it's supposed to. So.
Interesting. Huh.
I'm going to wrap them both up.
Wrap them up.
Near the end of the original version, and playing it through on the second version is pretty easy because you know exactly what you have to do. So I wouldn't really recommend them to anybody.
No?
They're interesting, but I didn't pay for them. So if they're free, I'd say check it out. And the only other thing that I did really was I accidentally watched this show on Netflix called Guardians of Justice.
Accidentally, huh?
Well, I was just I kept like looking through, like I was laying in bed, like, you know, am I just going to end up watching American Dad here, or am I going to watch something else? And I was going through Netflix, and this Guardians of Justice popped up. I think that's what it's called, Guardians of Justice.
Yeah, Guardians of Justice, yep.
And I looked at it and I'm like, oh, this looks like a dollar store version of The Boys. Like, it looks totally budget, you know?
Yeah.
And so then I was like, well, let me play the first episode, see what it's all about. And as it started rolling, it says, like, produced by Adi Shankar, I think his name is, or Ari Shankar. And I was like, oh, he's the guy that, like, produced, like, Dread and all this cool shit. So I was like, oh, he produced
Adi
this?
Shankar.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, so basically this is like, it is like the dollar store of The Boys, basically. It takes place in the 80s, and it's like the superheroes that defend Earth. The main one, Marvelous Man, who's like the Superman one, he kills himself on live TV. And it's kind of like, why did he kill himself? So it's kind of like the Watchmen cross with The Boys.
Yeah.
But it's also like got like weird animation stuff going on, and the costumes are kind of like whatever, and the, you know, it's just kind of budget all the way through, and each episode is like 20 something minutes long. It's like it's almost like it's just like a glorified web series basically, but it's pretty entertaining. And Diamond Dallas Page plays the Batman character. Diamond Dallas Page, the wrestler.
Yep.
So he's called Nighthawk, and then he has his sidekick called Little Wing, who's like Robin. And then there's like the Flash character that's called the Speed, I think. There's like the Aquaman character. There's all like the sort of like prototypical team heroes basically, but they're their versions. And it's got ridiculous over the top violence and all this ridiculous stuff going on it. But it's very interesting. I would recommend it if you like superhero stuff and you like The Boys.
Yeah.
But just keep in mind that it's pretty budget.
Yeah, it was something that I wanted to watch.
Yeah, I would recommend it. I think you would enjoy it just because it's sort of like on the superhero tropes, but also it's like, why did Marvelous Man kill himself on live TV? And it's like he had a gun that had like a kryptonite bullet, but it's not called kryptonite. It's called like caltronite or something like that. And he kills himself with the caltronite bullet. But then like the Wonder Woman character who's played by, or maybe she's not Wonder Woman, but his like wife is Denise Richards, you know?
Yeah.
She's looking a little haggard now, but she's also like 50, so
yeah,
I'll forgive her. She's also a terrible
actress.
She's a terrible actress too. Like she's been bad in everything I've ever seen her in.
So Adi Shankar
yeah
did a 5-minute long short
Yeah.
called The End of Pokemon.
He did a lot of shorts, dude. He did one of The Punisher. He did one with Venom called like something about news or something like that. I think he's done a lot of cool stuff, dude. So when I saw his name pop up, I was like, oh, okay, I'm going to enjoy this.
I'll read you the synopsis.
Okay.
Ash Ketchum finally becomes the Pokemon Master, but that came at a huge price with the death of Pikachu.
Oh,
now he
no.
wants to set free all Pokemon in the world, but by doing so, they end up freeing someone who they weren't supposed to set free. What will happen when the destruction of humanity will be so close?
He let out Mewtwo.
Probably.
What a guy. It's probably pretty good. He's done a lot of cool stuff.
It's only 5 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, he done a lot of cool stuff, so I was excited when I saw that. Yeah, I'd recommend it.
Yeah, nice.
Cool.
Yeah, we continue to watch
Ahsoka? No, something else, sorry.
Futurama.
Oh yeah.
So the first episode of the new Futurama, it was Futurama.
It was Futurama.
You know, it was okay.
Yeah.
Although all the next episodes that come after that have been really good.
Oh really?
They've been so funny.
Oh, okay.
I was like, oh, well, that first episode wasn't. It was just meh. The rest of the episodes, I'm just laughing. They're so funny.
Okay. Yeah, I only watched the first one and I was like, yeah, it was Futurama.
Yeah. But the next ones, they're good.
Okay.
I've been liking them.
I'll have to check them out then.
Yeah.
Usually I find though I fall asleep, so then I miss it all. So
Yeah.